Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down today and take a blanket, a long, narrow fold, and that's going to go underneath the shoulder blades. So you want to feel like your shoulder blades are flat against the back ribs and just checking in when you put your head on the floor that it doesn't feel like you're squashing the back of the neck to reach the floor. You could always put another pillow under your head if that's the case. And we're going to put the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana, knees wide. And take some deep breaths, finding the weight of your body, the substance of your body. And then you can try taking the arms overhead with the palms up. And as you give the weight of your body to the support, noticing where there might be some resistance or places in the body where you need to have extra compassion for yourself. Finding again that deep breath. Mm. Mm. And then gently bringing in the legs and the arms. And we'll roll carefully off that equipment to the right side and come into forward virasana. With your big toes touching towards the back of the mat, knees out wide, and reaching the arms forward. Mm. Hips reaching back towards your heels and drawing your shoulder blades back and the top of the head forward. Finding the breath. And then up into all fours. And bring your knees about hip width apart. Make some little spinal wave movements forward and back. You can bend your elbows to give you more room, elbows and knees. And start to find a flow of movement along the spine. You might be able to correlate that to the flow of your breath. Stretch your fingers out wide. Press your fingerprints down. And then there's another direction. So swap direction, the spinal wave. Looking for that supple movement. Nice. And then back into your static, all forward. And we'll just walk the knees together here. All right, we're going to take the right leg up and hold the hips level to the floor and feel the front core of the body engage to lift the leg. And without lifting the right hip, if you lift the right leg higher, see if you can use your gluteus muscles on the right side to lift the leg. Beautiful. And then we'll put that one down. We'll do the same on the left side. So you keep your hips level, lift the leg high, and try not to lift the left hip here. We just want to really engage the gluteus on the left lift the leg. Great. All right, we're going to do both legs again. Right leg, looking forward. Nice. And then left leg, looking forward. Okay, that's great. Now we're going to add in the arms. So when you lift your right leg, same as we did before, lift the left arm. So lift the limbs as high as you can. Good, and then back. And then left leg and right arm. Great, and we're going to keep going from side to side. So keep trying to get that extra little bit of lift with the gluteus muscles. Feel nice and stable in your spine using your core awareness and finding that flow of breath. Stretch out as straight and long as you can. Nice. And then we're going to kneel back. So you can kneel onto your heels, or you can take your blanket and make a little bit of extra support and interlock your hands. Press out through the palms in front of you. Draw the shoulder blades down, and we'll take the arms up, and we'll keep lots of space between the ears and the shoulders, and reach the small fingers back, the index fingers up, relaxing the neck and the throat. Good. And then we're going to come back into that all fours position. So fingers out nice and straight. Press your fingerprints, feeling the core of the body, stabilizing your healthy spine. Good. We're going to do the same thing. Right leg lift, left arm lifts, but we're going to take them out to the diagonal, or left arm out to the left side of the mat, right leg out to the right side of the mat, and then back to center, and then down. Lifting left leg, right arm out to the sides of the mat, back to center, lift them, and then back down. Okay, right leg, left arm, out to the side, back to center, and down. And left leg lift, right arm lift, out to the side, back to center, and down. One more on each side. Nice work. Kneeling back, either onto your blanket or to your heels. Interlock your fingers. Stretch out through the palms of the hands. Oh, opposite interlock, if you can remember what that might be. Probably the one that feels unnatural. Draw the shoulder blades down. Space between the ears and the shoulders. Lifting the rib cage, the sides of the waist. Connecting to the flow of your breath. Ease in your neck and the length of the spine. Nice work. And back into forward Virasana. So knees out wide. Stretching arms forward and hips back. And breathing deeply. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Pressing your heels, lifting your kneecaps, your quadriceps, the front of the thighs, the sit bones, and take the hips back as far as you can, feeling the armpits lengthen and broaden, and your head just hang down. Good. We're going to keep the weight in the right hand and just try and lift your left hand up onto just your fingertips so you're much lighter in the left hand. You could even try taking the left hand and placing it on your sacrum. Nice work. And put that hand back down. So now we take more weight into the left arm. Lift up onto the right fingertips so you're nice and light on the right side. And you might even be able to lift that arm and put it behind the sacrum. Good. And then both hands back down. All right, we're going to walk the feet together. And we're going to try and lift the right leg, and we'll keep the hips level like we did before, but use the gluteus muscles to just get a little bit more height. And now we're going to make the left fingertips light onto the floor. And you might even be able to balance here. And if you feel like you've got your balance, take your left hand onto your sacrum. Ooh. And then hands and feet back down where you like them. Relax your neck, let your head just hang down. All right, let's lift the left leg. We're keeping the hips level to the floor. Use the gluteus muscle for that last little bit of lift. Beautiful. All right, we're strong in the left arm and lifting up the right hand onto just the fingertips. So you might have to stay there for balance, or you might even be able to take the hand up and rest it onto your sacrum. Ooh. Both hands back down, both feet back down, and we're going to take the knees out wide onto the mat for forward virasana. Mm. Connecting to your flow of breath. Letting your spine be a little bit longer and your neck a little more relaxed. And then walking your hands back. And we're going to kneel up. Step your right foot forward. So we'll be in a long lunge and bring your hands forward either side of your front foot. And we'll ease the hips forward. Noticing where the body resists here. You're reaching your torso forward over your right thigh and finding that deep breath that expands the ribs. All right, let's tuck the toes under of the left foot. And we're going to lift the left knee, just off the floor. Ooh. Good. Really take the weight into your legs. So feeling strong in your legs and core. And we're going to lift the torso up and the arms up. Let's have the palms facing forward here. So we keep the chest broad, the armpits broad. So the back knee is moving towards the floor. Not quite there. And we'll draw the length, shoulders down from the ears. Beautiful. Bring the torso forward, the arms back down onto the floor. Lower your left knee and lift your hands up off the floor. And step your right knee back. And your left foot forward. Hands to the floor either side of your front foot. Nice long lunge. And with the knee, step the right knee on the floor. Ease the right hip forward. Ease the bones of the spine forward. Connecting to your breath. Just notice how you're using your fingers on the floor. Try and press down through the tops of the fingers. All right, we're going to tuck the toes under of the right foot and lift the right knee just off the floor. Really take the awareness into the legs and the core of the body. And we're going to lift, the torso. Hard on that side. And palms facing forward, draw the shoulder blades down. Make more length between your ears and your shoulders. Chest is spacious. Reaching the fingertips. Reaching their arms and the torso forward, hands back to the floor. Take your hands off the floor and then step your left leg back. So you're in a kneeling position and kneel down. Try to have your feet parallel and your hips come onto your heels or in that direction. Good. And then we'll bring the hands to the floor in front of the knees. Tuck your toes under. If you're happy to bring the weight of your torso over your feet, then lift your torso. Otherwise, you can keep your hands on the floor. But we want to work on that flexibility of the feet by trying to lift the knees away from the floor. So you can try doing that without your hands, or you can have your hands on the floor. Knees up and down. If you're struggling to not use your hands, but you'd like to give it a go, just try and use them a little bit less. Just notice when you might be able to take them off. Okay, and then we're going to come up to standing. So if you're able to take your heels back as close as you can to the floor, press them down, then stand up from there. Otherwise, stand up in a wise way. We're going to come to the front of the mat. Feet under the hips, parallel in hip width. Draw the shoulder blades down. And feel all that space across the heart, across the chest and collarbone. And arms up and look up. And then Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Put your hands up high enough so that you can feel all the way along your spine that the bones of your spine are pressing forward towards the front of your torso rather than popping up towards the ceiling. And then find that connection to the breath. Feel the rib cage move with the breath. Feel the bones of the spine to be dense and let them keep sinking forward, forward, forward. We're going to sway the upper body a little from side to side. And back to center. Good. And hands to the floor and take little steps back into your downward facing dog pose. Try to get your feet moving. Make it a shorter distance from your hands to your feet so you can get your heels as close to the floor as your body allows. And press your heels down. Really feel the length of the legs as you lift the front of the legs, the back of the legs. Pressing into your fingerprints so you feel that good foundation. Connection to the support of the floor, the building, the earth. And then lift the hips skyward. Feel the spine flow. Feel the breath flow. And then little steps forward. And you're aiming to press your heels down. Get your feet moving. And when you run out of room, just let yourself roll up and take your arms up. And then finding your Tadasana again, the front of your mat. We're going to step whichever foot back so that you're facing the long edge of your mat. You can see your device. All right, let's do toes in to start with. And we'll take the arms up by the ears. Have the palms facing forward. Feeling broad across the chest, the armpits, reaching through the fingers. But let's make more distance between the ears and the shoulders. Beautiful. And then forward bend here, hinging at the front of the hip crease. Press down the outside edges of the feet and lift the inner edges of the knees. So you want to feel like you can support your knees here. If there's any vulnerability in your knees, you could bend them a little bit, but really lift the quadricep muscles, the thigh muscles. Otherwise, feel like the legs are straight. Lengthen the spine. You can walk the fingers a little further forward without bringing the hips forward, and relax your neck. Great. Bring the hands back in under your shoulders and turn your toes out. Heels in. Get a nice wide stance with your toes and your knees. So knees are moving apart from each other. And we're going to sway from side to side. So one leg will be bent and one leg will be straight. If you've got a lot of movement here, you're enjoying that feeling in the hamstrings, the hips, you can walk your hands from side to side as well. So you'll go a little bit further. You try to keep your feet connected to the floor. So that you can feel the movement in your ankles. Nice. All right, now some people can go a little deeper. So come back to center. If you can reach all the way into a squat, so I'm squatting to the right, I'm going to lift my left foot up off the floor, so I'm on the heel. So you can try for that deeper movement or continue the way we were doing. And from here again, think about using the hands left. So when can you lift them off the floor? Using the core of your body more and your legs more and the flexibility of your feet more. Ooh, beautiful. And then center. And we're going to lift all the way up. Take the arms up, palms forward. And you're going to drop your hips. And take the knees out wide. Nice work. Bring the hands back down onto the floor under your chest. And think about moving so that you can sit down from here. So you might jump your feet together to a squat and sit down, or whatever movements feel appropriate. Okay. We're going to take the right leg. John's just near the camera. Are you all right, babe? He sat down so beautifully. All right, we're going to take the right leg out to straight and the left leg bent in. You don't need a blanket under your hip. All right, so this is the preparation for the pigeon pose. And we're going to turn to the left side and put your hands around. See if you can get both hands beyond your left thigh. And what you're going to do is start to reach your hands and your torso over that left leg. And we're going to swing the right leg behind as far as the knee will go. Good. And then really reach your right arm from here. So we want to feel nice, big stretch in the right lower back. And finding your breath. Mm. Good. Now, if it feels like this might be possible in your body, you can take it a little further. And what we want to do is bring the torso more perpendicular or parallel, I should say, to the floor. So you lift your left hip a little and turn this into pigeon pose. So that might be too strong for your hip. Come back to the one we were doing. All right. Lie your left hip back down so you can lift your torso. Ooh. Swing your right leg in. Caught up here. And the left leg out. All right, and then we turn the torso. So we try to get both hands beyond the right thigh. Start to turn belly and lower back. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk the hands out a little bit further. And then start to swing your left leg behind you. And we're trying to get the knee to go back as far as it will. Beautiful. All right, keep walking your hands out to the right. And particularly stretch the left arm. So the left lower back is lengthening. Whoa. And if you want to make that a little bit stronger, you're going to lift your right hip a little and swing the torso so you're more parallel to the floor. So a pigeon pose. Beautiful. And then releasing. We're going to swing the left leg back in, right arm. Nice work. Bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Now, we're going to hold somewhere that makes sense where you can lift your feet just off the floor so you're balancing on your sit bones. So that might be holding your knees, maybe your ankles or your feet. Quite reach my feet. And we're going to try and find really healthy shape for the spine. So embedding the bones of the spine forward towards the front of the torso, feeling that internal muscular support, so lifting the pelvic floor and finding the flow of breath. Nice. Now, we're going to turn the legs a little bit to face the left and the torso reaches over to the right. And then we're just going to go from side to side. So that active movement of the core of the body. And you're using your core to stabilize, to stay balanced. Nice work. Back to center and release your feet. Take your hands on the floor behind your hips and let your knees out as far as your body allows. You're trying to get your knees as far apart or as close to the floor as you can. We'll lift the spine, feeling the back bend shape, feeling the spaciousness around the heart, and the neck is long. Great. Bring your legs straight out in front. I'm probably going to lose my feet here. Bring the hands, the palms of the hands to face down and the fingers to face forward and your wrist underneath your shoulders. Good. And we're going to press down through the hands. Now that might be enough because it can be pretty strong in the wrist. Good. But imagine that you could really gather the core strength. So really feel that internal muscular support, pelvic floor, the spine feels long and supported, nice and strong. And you might be able to lift your hips off the floor as well. So we're in a reverse plank. Good. Keep the neck nice and long. Breathing. Good. And then release that. Bring the hands in front and backs of the hands together. Ooh. Stretching the back of the wrist. Sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then we'll go again. So palms of the hands down. Pressing down. Try to press the heels of the hands down. Lengthening the spine. Keeping length from the ears to the shoulders. And gathering strength to the core of the body. And internal muscular support. Pelvic floor, lower front abdomen. And maybe the bottom lifts off the floor. Or maybe you just feel that that might be possible. Just not in this moment. Reverse plank. Good. And then releasing. And bring the backs of the hands together again. Ooh, nice big stretch. Great. And then we're going to lay down. Have your blanket handy. And we're going to do a bamboo pose. So you might want to refold it so it's a nice little pillow shape. But just before we do that, we're going to have the feet quite close into the sit bones. Hip width and parallel, legs parallel. Lifting the hips and bring your hands underneath your back and interlock your fingers. And we're going to keep walking the upper arms closer and closer together and pressing the knuckles towards the heels so your arms are nice and straight. Back of the neck long. Face relaxed, throat relaxed. Lift the hips higher. Notice if you use the gluteus muscles, you can really get that last little bit of movement. Try to keep the legs parallel and breathing deeply. Beautiful. And then release. Just relax your back onto the floor. Just let everything relax. And we're going to repeat that, but with the opposite interlock of the fingers. So if you want to lift higher, bringing your feet in even closer, you might just be on the balls of your feet. You can give that a try if you like. Try to keep the legs parallel though. And then we're going to lift the hips again. Interlock the fingers the other way. And try to get the heels of the hands together. The arms long, walk the upper arms closer and closer and closer. And stretching the knuckles towards the heels. And really lifting through the thighs now. And using the gluteus muscle to lift just that little bit higher. Beautiful. Neck is long. Find the flow of your breath. So even though we're challenged here, connecting to Great. And then releasing. And just put your feet out a little bit so you can relax your back. Very good. All right. We're going to bring the left foot off the floor. Take hold of your left foot with your right hand. And then we're going to roll the lower body to the right side. And you're going to keep your left shoulder blade relaxed on the floor. All right, so we're nice and relaxed here, but we've got a pretty strong twist happening. You'll feel the back of the left hip. Good. Now see if you can bring that leg straighter. So we're going to try and straighten the left leg. Mm. Mm. Nice. And then releasing, come back up to center. Nice and relaxed. Pick up your right foot. Take hold of your right foot with your left hand. And then roll your lower body to the left side. Keep your right shoulder blade on the floor. Ah, taking in where this posture creates space. Good, and then you can try straightening that right leg. Ah, good, and then releasing and coming back up. And then we're going to finish with the bamboo pose. So place your blanket underneath your hips. And where you put the blanket is about helping yourself to just balance your leg over your pelvis. Sometimes making the blanket higher works more effectively. Maybe you need to move it down towards the tailbone or up towards the waist. But you want to have that feeling that the legs just balance there. If it feels like you're struggling to hold your legs, the core of the body's really switched on. Not really what we want just at the end of the practice here. So you could always just have your hips resting on your blanket and put your feet on the floor. We want to relax the belly. Feeling the flow of breath. Mm. Some people like cactus arms here for that extra little shoulder stretch. But you could take whatever arm position feels nourishing. Finding the flow of breath. If you're practicing cactus arms, and like me, one hand doesn't sink as readily as the other, put an imaginary sandbag in that hand and see if that makes a difference. Mm. Good. And then releasing, bringing arms and legs in and taking out the blanket, hugging your knees into your chest and rocking a little bit side to side. And some people might be able to lay in their own shavasana or relaxation. Namaste to you. Or if, like me, you need to finish your practice, we're going to roll to the right side and come up to sitting. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Finding the flow of your breath. And take that feeling with you. Namaste.